Welcome. Hi, I'm Bobby Brantley. I am the creator, the owner of Sacred Bloom Yoga. And please join us. Join us for our isolating slow flow. And join us for our other classes too. They're all beneficial. You know what? Let's start in Shavasana. And create like a star shape. Take your legs wide. Oh my gosh, Sarah, yes, do what Sarah's doing. Put your calves on the blocks. Like let your feet be suspended in the air.
I'm gonna like kick them like I did last week in handstand prep.
And if your heels are uncomfortable, take the blocks underneath the calves. I'm even thinking, let's just take the blocks under the calves. Let's suspend the feet. They work so hard all day long.
People forget your calf is a postural muscle.
Yeah, then your arms out wide. We're gonna start in Shavasana, and I will cue resting your body, like a mind-body connection meditation here. But before we do that, I want you to take a cleansing breath. A deep inhale, and then open mouth side out. And I want you to stay with cleansing breaths. And then, like, I'll be watching your torso for the exhale, right? I'll look for the inhale. But when I call a body part on your exhale, I want you to soften through that area. And it's okay if you guys aren't synchronized with breath, right? I want you to be in your own cleansing breath. All right, yeah. Well, the next exhale, you're going to soften through the toes. And softening from the tips of your toes along the soles of your feet towards your heels. On the exhale, viewing it in your mind's eye area, like as an anchor, weighting that body part down. Next, the calves, letting the calves drop down into the support that they have. Anchoring your lower legs. And then on your next exhale, visualizing the hips, the hip bones dropping down into the earth. The weight of them sinking. And bringing ease then into the upper legs. The shoulders dropping down. And on your next inhale, feel hopefully the low lungs, the mid back, an expansion there. And sighing out, the shoulders and the mid back dropping, anchoring into the floor. Low back, add that in, right? Softening, releasing. And then on your next inhale, breathe into the whole back, from the shoulders to the mid to the low. And hold it in and then sigh out. Really drop down then. So anchored from your toes, your calves, your hips. Anchored now into your back. Now take that relaxation down through your arms. Top of your arms dropping towards the floor. And from the shoulder to your elbow, from your elbow towards your wrists. And as though you're holding 10-pound weights in your hands, your palms dropping, anchoring down, letting gravity take over. And then that connection you have with the back of your head to your mat, like anchoring through that point. As you sigh out, the head drops, bringing ease into your neck. Your shoulders are anchored, your head is anchored so that the neck can release and let go. Next, we're going to take relaxation into our face. And so from the bridge of your nose down along your sinus cavities, relaxing, bringing in ease. And you can move into a more natural breath, natural ebb and flow. And from the bridge of your nose, releasing down along the sides of your nose towards your nostril, letting your nostrils soften. Adding the upper lip in too. And from the bridge of your nose now going up in between your eyebrows, tracing up to the center of your forehead. Right, and like from the center of your forehead out, that main area, but let's go back. Vision the bridge of your nose and we trace it up to in between the eyebrows all the way up to the hairline. The hairline and the forehead meet. And I want you to bring ease there down along your temples, down towards your ears, right in front of your ears. From your ears down along the edge of your neck, towards the top of your collarbone, both sides. And ease now along your cheekbones. And then in your jaw hinge, the muscles in and around your jaw hinge, releasing and softening, possibly letting that lower lip, the lower jaw, release from the upper jaw. And then add a softening through the tongue. Okay, let Shavasana happen even for your tongue. And deep, deep rest. Now, right, like all of that work you've put in, now you get to enjoy. Right? So laying in the stillness. Ease from your toes to your head, out towards your fingers. Letting the breath go where it wants to go. Letting the body breathe how it wants to breathe. Not controlling it, just allowing the breath to happen. Take a deeper breath in. And then interlace your hands behind your head and press the palms behind you. I say behind your head, above your head. Yeah, and then press them away from your head. Wrist pressing back up and back. And point your toes forward like your body's taking a yawn. And you empty your breath out, and then you're gonna walk your hands over to the right. Yeah, and then like another yawn. Inhale, you reach your arms back. And then other side. You stay there and inhale, lengthening. And empty. Nice work, come back to center. Yeah, wiggle your fingers, your toes, rotate out your ankles. And now you're gonna set your blocks to the side. Set them to the right side. You might want them actually. And since we're setting them to the right side, we're gonna take supine twist with our left leg first. Left knee up, and your knee will go over. And you might come on your side, on your right side as you twist over. I like to add those blocks just so my mind can connect with support, so that it can feel supported. And if you feel like you need that to let go in this pose, right, use your block, set it under your knee. It's not connected to the floor. And now we use breath, ujjayi breath, and sometimes a cleansing breath to help open up that left side. So as you breathe in, I want you to visualize length coming from that left hip up to your left armpit. As you sigh out, your gaze and your left shoulder, your arm dropping towards the floor. Inhale that length through your side. But now as you let your air out, that left knee drops down towards the right. Cleansing breath. Deep inhale, left lung filling up. Exhale, sigh it out. Another breath like that. Releasing the left knee down, the left arm down. And now we'll stay in stillness for a minute. And absorbing the expansion you created through breath. Just allowing gravity to take over. And come back through center. Straighten your legs out. Pause in a mini shavasana. Noticing, observing the left side from the right. And then if you needed your blocks, take them over to the left. Right knee pulling in. Knees dropping to the left, gaze to the right. Cleansing breaths, deep inhale, right side fills up from your right hip towards your right armpit, and then side out, let the arm drop and the right knee drop down. Inhale, right lung pressing up or out, away from your center line. The exhale, softening. Knee dropping towards the floor. Like in this pose, I know I'm mostly calling the side body, the right lung filling up, but I mean, you could access your right low back if that's tight. You could send your inhale into the right low back. You could also send it into your right abdomen. So here's where like breath can create expansion and stretch different areas of the body in the same pose. Just kind of observing where you're feeling the need to breathe into. And on your exhale, adding in a mantra, saying, I am supported. And connecting with the support of your mat, my earth under you, holding you up. I am supported. And observing what happens in your body as you say those words. And maybe they're not landing right away. And so you stay with it, you stay with that mantra until it does land. And then you might realize, like, or it's not happening. It could be changing the mantra. You could say, I am okay. Either one works. So learning to implement a language that speaks to you and a mantra that speaks to you. Just one more minute. One more minute to find ease, to find space. And come back through center, Amini Shavasana. And maybe you want to take that one where it's like you wake up and you're stretching in the morning. You could reach your hands behind you, pointing your toes forward. You need a more active one, and sigh out. Child's pose. Yeah, let's give the shoulders a break. And so what you're going to do with your blocks, I used all my blocks. Let me get one. They're holding my computer up.
I have a desk built out of blocks for my laptop too.
Do you? So your blocks, like basically you're going to kind of lock your head in. The blocks are going to go at the edge of the shoulder, right, where the collarbone connects with whatever bones there in the back. Yeah, and the flatter setting, like that. Yep, Catherine. Yep, Sarah, you got it. And from here, now your hands, we're going to go into folded leaf. Your hands will go behind you towards your ankles. And the blocks will be there to hold the shoulders up. Yeah, and you might notice, so for me, I kind of play with my arms in this pose. If they don't feel like they're relaxing with them behind me, I take them more out to the sides as a T with my palms on the floor. Yeah. And Catherine, what you did naturally too, those goalpost arms, that's also an option. We're going to do a few rounds of Ujjayi breath. Inhale, let the shoulders rise. Take your inhale into the upper back. 2 breaths into the shoulder blades. And now the low lungs, but filling up in the mid back, the back rising. The low lungs sending your back towards the ceiling. And even thinking of breathing in from the center of your spine out to the left and right. I'll let you stay in the mid back for one more breath to kind of feel it out. And now the inhale goes as low as it can towards the tailbone, but breathing in from the center of your spine out to the left and right across where the kidneys are. You're here for 3 more inhales into the kidney area. From the center of your spine, breathing, filling up left to right. Slowing down the inhale, slowing down the exhale. One more breath, low back. I want to make sure we stay there long enough. It's an area we don't get too often. And now, right, we just reverse. So now you take your inhale into your low lungs, mid back, filling up, expanding one more time. From the center of your spine out to the left and right. The rib cage moving away from the center. And then we'll finish with 2 breaths into the shoulders. Deep, deep inhale, filling up all the areas. And then it's a cleansing breath. You sigh out on your exhale and stay in the pose for a minute, right? Just to observe the space you've created through breath. All right, set your blocks to the side and you're gonna lay onto your stomachs, right or left ear down. All right, we're gonna come into cobra. I want you to curl your toes under though, it's a modified cobra. Curl your toes under and then like look back where the ankle's coming out of the hips. Like align the knees and then the ankles all in one line. And now you're gonna come onto your forearms and let your elbows and your forearms rest. Yeah, like connected to the floor. Now we're just right here, the heels pressing back. I like to rock left to right on my front hips here. Mine are pretty tight. I don't know if your girls' are, but if they are, just rock left to right a little bit. Heels still pressing back to you while you rock. All right, tops of your feet down. Tops of your feet pressed down into the mat. Nice and anchored through your forearms. And then even the low quads, right, like right above the knees, pressing down, or just your quads pressing down, whatever point of connection you have. Hips pressing down, tops of your feet pressing. Okay, and now lower opposite ear down. If your feet cramped, you can cramp your toes under. And come back up. Tops of your feet down, tops of your feet pressing into the floor, forearms connected to your mat. Fingers spread wide, palms on the mat. Yep, and then exactly what you just did, Catherine. Yep, that's where we're going next. So now, like for me, I feel a pinch in my low back, so I'm gonna come out of the pose slightly. I'm bending to my elbows just to lower. Hip bones press down, tailbone towards your heels. We're really like anchoring down into the floor, pressing, activating muscles. We're here for 2 more breaths. And lower, right or left ear down, either one. And cobra. We're not going to put much action into this one. Just hold it for a moment. We will, but right now it's just resting on your elbows, your forearms, hands connected to your mat. Hip bones connected. No pressing into the floor, resting. And now we'll add on. Let's start with the left hand. Left hand reaching forward. You're on your fingertips. You're kind of what you did. Yep. Hold. And then set that side down, opposite side. Set it down. And now add both in. Fingertips, like there's a ball underneath your hands, you're pressing your fingertips down, head pressing away from your shoulders. And lower, right or left ear down. And rock your hips left to right, if you'd like. And now we're gonna connect that with breath. Similar movements. The inhale, you lift up and you reach your arms forward. Exhale, we lower, gliding our elbows back towards our sides. Inhale, we lift up. Exhale, lowering. And so you are reclining our hands. Yeah, Sarah, you got it. Catherine, you'll add it. And go ahead, Catherine, bring your, everyone come down. Bring your hands to your low ribs. Let's connect it together. From here, inhale, hands reach forward, shoulders lift. You're gliding your arms, yeah. And then exhale, you start to lower and you start to slide your hands back. Inhale, hands glide forward, shoulders lift. That's it. Exhale, slowly coming down, slowly pulling your hands toward your ribs. Inhale, lift, and reach. Exhale. Now in this inhale, once you get to fullest expression, we stay. One more breath. And right or left ear down. And you'll flip over onto your box, restorative bridge. So grabbing that block, placing it underneath your sacrum. Yeah, and now you'll straighten your legs. We're gonna hold this for 5 minutes. Adding that mantra in for this pose. I am supported, or I am okay. It's like on your exhale. We made it halfway through. Still got another 2.5 minutes. So if you need to say reconnect to breath, ujjayi or cleansing, something to help you stay, shifting slightly. Okay, press your heels into the floor, point your toes forward, something to activate the legs. And I really encourage just doing 1 foot at a time, sliding 1 foot back for bridge legs, and then the other, really just taking your time. Let both feet connect to the floor, feel the soles of your feet, press them into your mat to connect with them. And then head of the belly in, hips lift up to remove your block. Set your block to the side, let your hips come down. And let's take happy baby. You get to modify happy baby, hands behind your thighs. That's an option. Peace fingers to your big toe and second in between them. Or even grabbing to the outer edges of your feet either. Work. So there's options for Shavasana. You could take child's pose, frog, but if you want to keep those front hip flexors open, either I would suggest them staying completely on your back or on your belly. So your Shavasana, whatever you would like. And maybe you get like halfway through and you're like, I want to change. And that's okay because you've got like 7 minutes here for this one. And use your cleansing breath to invite in the ease, the dropping down toward the floor. As you take a deep breath in, reach your arms overhead, point your toes forward. And empty out. Do that one more time. Inhale, creating length. Toes pressing, reaching up above. And release. You'll make your way up to seated. Yeah, definitely take your time. And hands to heart center. Let's take a breath in together. Empty out. Thumb knuckles up to your forehead. Together we say, Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.